Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Baja Bash version 2, our PRA Wreckfest. I'm your host for tonight, 81, and joining me in the booth today is a very special guest, voted by the drivers as Mr. Sportsmanship and the favorite driver in PRA. Joining me in the booth tonight is Oscar. How you doing, bub?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. How you feel coming into this event? It was a lot of fun last time. Hoping to see a lot of fun action this time, too.
Yeah, on Monday, for the first part of this, I raced in it, had a great time, a lot of fun. I just didn't do very well, so I'm in the booth with you today.
Well, I didn't get the chance to run Monday, but I'm still happy to be here in the booth. So
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
definitely for those unfamiliar with the Baja Bash, last time we ran this in the trophy runner, I think. But this time we are running it in the Sandstorm. So this is gonna be like a trophy truck style, just one-off event with a few races in the playlist. We have the schedule. Here, our first race we're going to is Rattlesnake Race Park, something you don't see too often from PRA, but with these trophy trucks, all the jumps here, this is going to be pretty chaotic and a lot of fun, don't you think?
I do. Actually a really fast track. It's got some really tight hairpins in it, a lot of jumps, and if you just tap that bank on either side, it's going to toss your car one way or the other, and you'll take out the whole the whole team.
That's right. So Monday, you mentioned Monday. Monday we had our preliminary rounds for the Baja Bash. The top 14 placing drivers out of the two sessions got into the event tonight. A lot of people participated Monday, but tonight we got the top 14, and there's not gonna be no qualifying, no special orders or anything like that. This is just gonna start racing and have fun. So no pace lap. We're not gonna have our famous Speedy out. We're just gonna start the race as soon as the game tells us we're green.
Right, and I'm sorry if I missed it. You said no cautions or tallies or anything, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. That's always fun.
Yeah, so tonight we're just here to watch some guys in an off-season event having some fun, racing around. But still gonna be some great racing, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I race with all these guys all the time, and then being in this sandstorm, it's not an easy car to drive. It's really big, and it slides a whole lot, and these are some really tough tracks to race anyway. So this should be a lot of fun tonight.
That's right. So drivers to watch for tonight. Definitely gotta watch for Ty Hard. Won it last time in the trophy runner. I think.
Yeah, I think he won it by quite a bit last time.
Yeah, Ty definitely dominated last time in the Baja Bash. This time, let's see if he can make a repeat, or at least show just as impressive as before. But definitely the rest of the guys in here aren't going to make that easy.
No, I certainly hope not.
Anyone in particular you want to keep an eye out for tonight on?
Yeah, Ty Hart, he's tough to beat in here. I know Leitzman has been putting down some hot laps and doing some really good times. Yeah, it's just going to be tough. I mean, Teague is one of my favorites, longtime favorite of his. But he said he's been struggling, so yeah, I think it's going to be between Ty and Leitzman today.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. So we're about to start now, as the game is about to tell us we are green, green, green. And away we go. So again, qualifying really more comes down to where the game puts you. Get lucky to start. As Blood and Tears is the one who gets the good jump on the start here, with Colt, John, Soul Pun, big carnage in the back. Two guys already up.
Yep, and Teague is off to the
side. Teague and Ty are around. But as we said, no cautions. It's going to be some short sprint races here, 10 laps. Soul Pun making a good jump for the lead. So something I'll mention here as well is with this car and the tracks, all this assortment, usually in some like off-season events, we have some of the best, like the fastest gold drivers, yada yada yada. Tonight we've got a good mix of names in here.
I agree. And then we have a new one with that Black Sierra, new to the PRA and new to this whole league racing thing.
That's right. This is his first event, right?
Yeah, he raced on Monday, did really well, and here he is tonight. So we'll see how he does here.
Well, excited to see how he does in the main league races once they start back up next month. This track is just beautiful, honestly, with all these big open views, with the sun coming down, as Soul Pun is still holding on to that lead. We got a three-way fight for like fourth, fifth. This guy's gonna on the side. Colt rolls it and takes Wired with him. I think Colt's stuck. He's got to reset. And I think Wired's around again. Wired's just not having any luck. So this event tonight is thanks to Wired and Millsy. Thanks so much to them for organizing this event and putting it together tonight.
Yeah, I know Wired is a little under the weather the last few days, and last I talked to him, he said he wasn't even going to race tonight, so it's actually good to see him here.
Glad to see him in, too. His current fastest lap is being held by D West.
And Leisman just took the lead. Oh, and Solfun takes it. Whoa,
oh, yeah, this is going to be a good fight for the lead here. Captain's going to be eyeing this up, too, to see if he can stick a nose in there. As a D West with the fastest lap, he's right there, too. Solfun's going to try to get the run on Leitzman on the back straight. As long as you don't roll it on these jumps, it's kind of risky to switch lines halfway through, but it is theoretically the fastest way.
I'm not used to seeing Ty towards the back like this, not used to it.
Yeah,
Him
right
and
now...
Teague and Black Sierra are really fighting it out.
Yeah, and Colt here too, trying to recover from that roll, as these guys are going to be too wide coming across the line. And we've got these guys up front doing the same through the jump as all three guys are going through the big hoop jump. Lease was trying to defend it. Now 3 wide for second coming in this uphill. Who's going to get out of it this time? It will be Soul Pun? Yeah, Soul Pun gets the edge on D West. But so far you called Leitzman. I know Leitzman pretty well. He's one to put down laps, a ton of laps for practice. He'll be one of the hardest working practicers, and practice is paying off.
Yes, it is.
This is just an event for fun, off-season event, but these guys still want to come out and win. Do their best, at least. As D-West nearly rolls it, but he keeps the thing on the track. Any other car might have flipped it, but these sandstorms are high up off the ground, got the leverage to stay on all fours versus rolling on these banks. Ty, Teague, and Colt are still at it for 8.
Leithman seems to be getting some real estate between him and second.
It's Ty in this green machine. Teague taps into Colt. See how they manage through the jumps.
Oh, and D-West just overtakes Solpun for second.
Oh, you're right
there.
It's going to be a good little fight here. Solpun's going to try to get the position back, send it to the inside, and definitely pulling the elbows out there. As Captain's going to take advantage of that too and get D West as well. And Captain's hungry for more. He's going to get up in a second. So far, our fastest lap is a 51.95 from J Ray.
Gosh. That is just insane. I think my best was a 54 something with this car.
These guys are definitely putting the mud up in the air. Whatever sayings you want to come up with now.
Right. Oh, Wired saves it. He almost went over.
And as you said, Wired under the weather, having a rough time, but the fact he even came out to race tonight, that is impressive.
Oh, definitely.
As now he's looking to fight off D-Highs. Checking back up at the top of the field. Leitzman is liking this ground he's getting a little bit. This fight for second's giving him a lot of room to work with up there. Kind of just looking through the pack. This battle for second, I think, is really going to kick up coming into these last 3 laps.
I agree, and it's given Leedsman a lot of real estate.
It's definitely, as Ty and John are side by side, Ty's trying to work his way back up the field, trying to get 6th after his rough start. We all know how fast he can be in this car, and just in general in this Baja Bash series. So he's trying to work his way, pick through the field, as it looks like he's going to get John here at this hairpin. Up into 6th for Ty. Back up to the front, J Ray's caught up with Captain and Soul. J Ray's looking to take advantage of this fight too, getting himself into 4th. So this is a 2nd through 5th battle, 4-way fight for 2nd. As you'll see, keeping the tires on the ground is definitely the fastest way. You can have more power, so that's why these guys are going to be taking that weird line through the jumps. Since if their car's in the air, the guy on the ground with more power is going to get past them. So definitely they're taking advantage of whatever small lines they can through the jump section. As D-West clips the... Sorry to interrupt you, but G-West clips the berm and Captain gets through for 2nd. J-Ray's looking to pounce on that too. But J-Ray clips outside. This podium battle is heating up. Jerry getting a good run. This is going to be white flag here. White flag racing between these 3.
D-West is really going to have to run defensively to hold those other 2 back.
You're right.
If you notice, when they come up to these hairpins, they slow way down because this car will just slide all the way out.
As you see J Ray does there.
Yeah.
So Captain's going to be trying to make that last second push on D-West. J Ray hoping, lodging him out a little bit, might take advantage. What happened up here? Leedsman spun!
Oh, no.
So now D-West takes the lead on the last lap with Captain in second. I don't know what happened there.
Right there.
As this could be a fight for the win. As it looks like D-West might just about hold on from Captain, and he will to take the win of the first race.
D-West, way to go.
What happened to Leedsman?
Oh, and Leedsman quit.
Oh,
maybe
out.
He pinged out.
Oh, that's so unfortunate, dude.
Yeah, he might have pinged out. Oh, that is
bad.
Yeah,
I knew that, yeah, as we just heard, Leedsman lagged out. That's just so unfortunate. We'll see what is done about that post-race. But D-West, for now, takes the provisional win, with Captain in second, J Ray finishing the podium. Ty Hard, as it stands, fought his way back up to 5th. Would have been 6th with Leedsman in 1st. Again, we'll see how that's counted since it was such a late lag out.
Right.
But, and since Leedsman pretty much had it there. So.
Yeah, he pretty much led the entire thing, the entire 10 laps.
Yeah, and he definitely had ground on those 2nd and 3rd guys.
Very unfortunate. But what a good race.
It was a great race to watch, especially with that battle for 2nd. Heating up, just because the leader's gone doesn't mean you can't put up a fight for the best positions you can get. Not every race is about winning it,
Right, exactly. Yeah, I've had some really good battles, like in last season in the Open Series and even just in normal public lobbies. And, I'm in, 10th or 11th place really battling it out with somebody, and that's just all the fun for me right there.
We're just going to wait and see if we get Leedsman back in the lobby as we're going to move to our next race. Next track will be 15 laps at Bonebreaker Valley. Want to tell us about that one, Oscar?
Bonebreaker, yeah, that normally that is a no hard feelings track for us. So even though you're in a lobby with all your friends, it doesn't matter. You're going to get taken out if you're, present yourself for it. But when we practiced this one the other day, like right now in the lobby, the guys are deciding which direction they're going to go, and hopefully everybody follows suit so there's no crossovers and stuff like that. And it's actually a pretty fast track if everybody can follow the same line.
Yeah, we'll hope to see that as, the crossovers here in a typical standard lobby. I mean, PRA, you wouldn't typically see this, because in regular lobbies, this is supposed to be one of those chaotic, like, just wreck guys out tracks.
Yeah.
That is definitely super fun. Let's see how the drivers work around it here.
Yeah, I know some guys when they come out the start, they wanted to stay to the left and go around that way, and other guys like to stay to the right and go around that way. So if they can all oh, Leithman's back.
Yep,
So
we
that's
do
good.
have Leitzman back.
So yeah, if they can figure out which route they all want to take and do it together, then they should be all right. Or we'll have something really good to watch.
Everyone might want to get their popcorn ready for this one.
Right.
So in the meantime, while we wait for them to get readied up, I'd just like to talk about the league in general really quick. How about that, Oscar? So the other night, if anyone didn't get to catch it, we had our end of year banquet event. Really just end of season for last season, a little awards night, championing all of our champions of the league races, as well as from the PRA championship event, which was such a fun event to take part in. And I do know for a fact that we have plans to bring it back again in the future, so that's going to be awesome to see.
Absolutely, that was a whole lot of fun. It was congratulations on your announcer award.
Oh, thank you, and
I think
congratulations.
you pretty much walked away with that one.
I gave my boy Bumskag some credit.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently he got a close second, and I think that's definitely deserved.
Oh, absolutely, and both of you guys together in the booth is well, that's just a good fit.
Well, can't wait to be back when we kick off next season in a few weeks, as we've got a few more off-season events coming up. Not sure if they're quite announced yet or the plans are finalized, but can't wait for everyone to enjoy it when they do come around, as should be about set to get started as everyone is back in for 15 laps at Bonebreaker Valley. We're going to see which way they pick to go and if they decide to stick to it all race.
Yeah, once the pack starts to spread out, well, the crossover's not really going to matter. You're all going to meet in the middle somewhere at some point. So that should be it's just going to be a fun track to watch.
That's right. It's now just waiting on our lovely host of the lobby, Millsy, to get us readied up and going. Again, just big shout out to him and Wired for hosting this event as we are about to go green. And we're off! As best start happens for Captain Napkins and J-Ray, as we're already splitting up a little bit.
Yeah. I was afraid this was going to happen. It's going to be a short race for some people.
Oh, and there goes D West flying ties around again, unfortunately, but he saved it. So yeah, this is just going to be some ping-pong action as Leitzman's being shuffled to the back. There's got to form line over the jump. Some people thought that wasn't the best idea. Some people decided to back out. As, yeah, everyone's committing to different ways. As Wired goes to the left, J-Ray and Captain goes to the right. Got a lot of guys flying off the jumps here. And as everyone's splitting up, Leitzman gets taken out in the middle.
Yeah, that's going to happen every single lap now that they've all decided to go different directions.
So, personal driver's seat right now is Captain Napkins, as well as J-Ray. Wired, making the moves for second now. Well, provisional second, as we'll see. It's hard to tell who's exactly in front when they go on different sides of the track, but you'll definitely find out by the end of the race who's doing well and who's not.
Right. It seems like Napkin took an early lead.
That is right, and as this field spreads out a little bit, another problem is going to become, once you hit off that back jump on the back of the lap, you'll have some back markers coming at you head on, so you have to avoid it. So maybe being that far in front might not be the best thing.
Right.
Definitely
yeah,
scary.
It's just going to be chaos. The longer these laps go, the more chaos is going to happen.
Yeah, Captain has a commanding lead with J-Ray, Wired, Colt, and D-West following behind. Ty and Teague side by side on the jump. Ty yet again in 6th. And so we got a little fight up here between Wired and J-Ray. Surprisingly clean so far, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, we're only 5 laps in, and it's really starting to spread out now. So,
yeah, as we're
like
really
you said, coming off this jump right here, and then people coming at you head on, it's just going to be a very, very bad situation.
That's right, and really either way, even these side jumps might be even worse for us. You have guys trying to come through the middle of the track, because I feel like we're going to start getting a little bit of intersecting in the middle come within a couple more laps. That's good. Soul Pun popped off by Teague. One of the jumpers. Now you got, as you see there, you're going to start seeing some guys that's going to get really sketchy coming through the middle. Wired struggling a little bit, get through the corner. Colt's trying to take advantage. Captain's still running pretty smooth, though. But yeah, here you go with cars in the middle coming back and forth. How long do you think it takes until we get someone taken out?
I think it's probably about lap 9 or 10.
All right now, it's John and Cole in a massive accident. As John was still on his roof.
Yeah, and these cars can't handle a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, coming off these jumps, you've got to be careful. Ty and Teague fighting it out. We got cars crisscrossing about. This is even worse than the figure eights.
Of course.
But it seems like J-Ray has caught up to Captain. As we get a good top-down view of this middle crossover section. As we have cars jumping left and right. D-High slides across. J-Ray hits into Salt Pun, and they're pretty much rule one over there as Captain takes off after that. We got Salt Pun and Black Sierra fighting it out. Well, I'm messing up on my job.
Yeah, I'm trying to... There we go. I figured out the right camera angle. Now I can see everybody.
As we've got a ton of carnage coming back to this backstretch. T's taken up by J-Ray, Colt. All of them fighting together after J-Ray got shuffled back in the pack after that big incident. We've got cars jumping over other cars. Let's see if we can find Captain. D-High's almost got hit. So much to follow here, Oscar.
It really is. And Napkin seems to be doing really well trying to stay out of all this carnage and stuff like that. But it's bound to happen. He's going to get hit.
This Wired still sitting in his podium spot. Ty Hard chasing him down, though. That's definitely not a spot you want to feel too comfortable in with Ty Hard chasing you down, no matter who you are.
Absolutely not, yeah.
Here's Captain. He's got some lap traffic behind him. A quite reasonable gap between him and anyone else who's challenging for position. He's gotten fortunate so far with these crossovers. See. This might be the fight to watch here. As Colt goes for the undercut on Teague, but doesn't get it, thinks better of that. We got starting to file out on who's going to take what side. Is someone wrecked out back there? D-High's clipped, I think, the outside barrier. He's going to have to reset there. Teague and Leitzman right behind Teague. So Leitzman's looking to work his way back up in the order. Blood and Tears and Black Sierra fighting out for 10th spot.
Yeah, I do know this is not Blood's favorite track. He's not a huge fan of this track.
I don't know too many people who would say it's their favorite track. As
right.
Teague and Leitzman go too wide, almost getting creamed by Black Sierra. That would be a welcome to PRA moment if you've ever seen one. Ty Hart and Wired fighting out. I don't know how Ty is over, rolling into the middle of the ramp track, and he's gonna have to reset. Poor Ty Hart getting flipped out again. And J-Ray, Wired and Soul Pun, J-Ray getting collected too. Another wreck involving those guys. So unfortunate for J-Ray, keep getting caught up in everything. But him and Wired are going to be fighting this last lap down to the wire. As let's see if we can find our leader, Captain Napkins.
Captain Napkins, he's ready. Oh,
as he stays alive through the jump and wins the second race.
Good job, Captain.
D-High's coming with this jump as Wired and J-Ray are going to drag race it to the finish, and Wired's going to get third. Congrats, Wired, for getting the podium tonight. Teague filing sixth, Leighton fifth, Ty unfortunately in seventh. Ty just not having the luckiest night.
Yeah, he's having a rough go of it.
And it's managing with these AI cars. Black Sierra getting 10th, not too bad of a result for one of your first main events. As John's caught up on the AI car.
On the AI car.
And D-Highs is going to get the overtake because of it. Yeah, that was a track that happened.
Yeah, yep.
Congrats to Captain Napkins for a commanding victory there in the second race here at Bonebreaker Valley. So far, you think we've got our money's worth, Oscar?
Absolutely. And we're not even done yet.
Yeah, we're not even halfway done yet.
Nope.
Next one's going to be even more fun, even honestly, in my opinion. Next track, we're going to another 15 laps here at the Wild Circuit of Tri-Bend.
Yeah, this is another really fun track. Easily, a lot of things can happen on this track. For one, it's real leggy, so someone can be flipping around the track and you don't know if they're actually wrecking or if it's just a lag. So you don't quite know where they're going to land, and it makes this track really difficult to race around.
Yeah, even the normal version of this track would be great, except for on the back straight, there's the big walls, like the barriers on the outside, that if you hit that, you're going to go flying. Now, on this track, you've got that plus some more shenanigans thrown in.
Yes, with the tires and the jumps. And that really tight chicane right there in the middle.
Right, it's going to be... You might want to take this flat out since it's a speedway, full 3, 4 wide, whatever you want. But with that chicane, you're not going to get away with that. If you try it, all of you are dead, quite frankly.
Oh, Bumskeg in the chat says it's a garbage track. You are right, Bumskeg.
He wants you to clean up your popcorn and hot dogs.
Yes, he always says that, but I don't know why he took the chair out of the booth. Now I have to stand up.
Oh, come on, Bum. What, Bum? We're not allowed to have food concessions?
That's right. Yeah, this is, anytime this track comes up on the vote screen, I try to avoid it.
Oh yeah, I definitely imagine so. As we're about to get back underway here in just a second, waiting for everybody to ready up and get going once more. As we're into race number 3. As we're going to go green, green, green. Leitzman, one of the good starting with this jump in the tires. Oh, everyone keep it together. Wired and J-Ray are
people
one.
are still spinning around.
Oh, J-Ray getting collected all the way up the track. You know you're going to find some casualties there. Soul Pun, great save. Leitzman taking the lead yet again, hoping this can be a repeat of race 1. So everyone's going to try to avoid that ramp as it's going to be quicker and more reliable, honestly, to stay on the track. But then if you're John, you hit those barriers. And that happens to you. Barrier.
Yeah, on that last corner there, I try to stay up, go to the left of that ramp because I can get a straighter shot into that chicane. But some guys like to go down below the ramp and then back up and then through the chicane.
As interesting through the ramp, some guys are taking the high line, some guys are taking the low line, and someone rolled it but kept it on all fours. Who was that? That was John.
Oh, that was John. Yep.
And Ty Hard is around again. Unfortunate for Ty still. Just not catching a break this time around, really. Leitzman's doing his best Ty Hard first Baja Bash impression, but
Colt... Oh, and Captain Napkins just goes on the side.
Some guys are taking the jump back here. J-Ray and Ty Hard and Wired all through the chicane. Yeah, you can see J-Ray just pulling through a little bit faster than Ty, not taking that jump as... Jesus! Black Sierra.
Cartwheeling.
Yeah, he did his best gymnastics impression there. But that might give you a gold medal, but it's not going to get you out of 13th place. A for the technique, though.
Absolutely. And flipping like that, I'm assuming he hit one of those barriers off on the side that stick out onto the track just barely.
The ones I was talking about. Speaking of A for technique, Leitzman taking this high line, setting up the chicane beautifully. But Colt's not letting him go. As we see D-West and Captain fighting for 3rd place. Captain and D-West have both been doing really well. I say that, and then Captain hits the barriers. He's still going to hold on to 4th, though. D-West setting down the fastest lap of the race at 22.9. As we pan through the pack here to see what everyone else is doing. D-High is catching up on Blood and Tears to take 6th place. Blood and Tears, I'm going to pull up to the top as we have a 2 wide in the back. I think that's J-Ray and John. Blood's just having a rough time here in the back with the chicane.
Yeah. It looks like Colt actually is gaining on Leitzman a little bit on some of these straightaways. Let's
take a look at Colt, shall we? Colt is sitting here in 2nd place, running pretty well, trying to chase Leitzman down. Going into lap 9 of 15th, we're halfway through. See, Colt's taking this low line, which kind of compromises the chicane a little bit. But interestingly, he's still keeping up. His Wired's down in last now. Must have had something going on with the jump there. As it might be interesting to see as Leitzman's going to be catching up on lapped cars sooner or later. So that might be Colt's chance to see if Leitzman gets caught up with someone saying the chicane or the jumps. That's going to be what he wants. D-Highs and Ty fighting for 6th. Again, a lot of guys splitting between this top and bottom line. Let's see if Ty's going to try this undercut on D-Highs. Is he going to get it? Not quite. They're going to go 2 wide past the jump into the final hairpin. Is Ty going to send it in? And not quite, but he's hanging in there. Side by side into lap 11. Great little fight for 6th here. As again, D-Highs this time is going to take the high line. Ty takes the jump, and J-Ray takes the bottom line. As J-Ray gets caught up in the chicane, D-Highs now taking the jump. Ty gets the run because of that. And let's see if he's going to get it this time. Ty will get it this time.
It, yes.
Let's check. Leitzman is catching up with the pack. Colt is still with him, though. And D West isn't too far behind either. According to the last 3 laps of this race, I still think anything can happen.
Oh, absolutely. All you have to do is just touch one of those little bricks on the side of the track and your race is over.
As we have Wired, our first DNF.
Oh,
Colt gets a great run on Leedsman, almost lands on his wing. And Colt's going to get the run out of the final turn. And now this is looking like an even more interesting battle for first. They're put side by side past the jump now. Let's see if Colt sends it into the chicane. Leedsman's going to cut off the line since he has the better line coming out from top. D-West is hoping both of these two get into it.
I was going to say I'm on board with D-West, and I can see they're coming up to lap traffic, so that may have a factor in the ending.
But this is the last lap. Everything's going to happen here, boys. As Colt takes the inside, Leedsman on the outside. Colt's going to have to send it. He's not going to get it, though. But Blood's going to ping
in there.
Yeah, D-West might be here to take second. The jump's going to slow him down, though. So is lap traffic. This is going to come right down to the line. Leedsman getting tangled with blood and tears. But we're going to run to the line, and Leedsman's just going to hold it. Colt second, nice. D-West in third. That's going to be a separation of, like, less than a second. Maybe even tenths. Captain ended up taking fourth. Captain's having a good night. Teague in fifth. Ty in sixth. As the rest of our pack sorts in now. Fastest lap does go to D-West. I think he's held the fastest lap for every race so far, at least 2 of them.
Yeah, that's not surprising, actually.
He's been putting in a pretty good performance in his own right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Wired and Millsy picked these tracks to test your endurance or just to be cruel.
A little bit of both. Speaking of endurance and cruel, we're on the way to Torsdalen.
Yes, this is one of my new favorite tracks. I love this track.
Speak for yourself there, but this is the newest track in the game. Guys, still getting used to it. We did run a big 60-lap event a few weeks ago for the Fast Cash Showdown. That was in Raiden's. Small, shifty car. Sandstorm is not that.
No, and there's not a whole lot of room for a car this big to pass somebody.
Yeah, especially you're going to want to push the limits of this car. But also, especially on the downhill, the S's. The first S's, I think, will catch some people out rolling the car. That's going to be my call right now.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few that go. The banks aren't very tall. They're very shallow banks. But once you go over, then you have to start all over. And I think there's going to be quite a few that end up going over those banks.
And also, wouldn't be surprised. After the first hairpin, there's going to be a long straight into a very sharp 90 left. That's going to be the corner that all moves are made or broken, and you might see some cars flying.
Absolutely.
As we're about to start off race 3 here, as soon as the game lets us, and we're off! As Blood, Black Sierra, Soul Pun getting the best start. Soul Pun holds the lead with Black Sierra in second. And there goes Wired flying in the air, as I said, and Wired is out again. Him and Captain.
Tough luck for Wired.
Yeah. Him and Captain and Colt got tangled up, it looks like. Soul Pun's the one who's got a massive lead starting this off. So he's going to want to look to take advantage of it. As this here is the make or break corner, as T's going to look to get in the inside of Leedsman and Ty, but gets pushed outside for the next corner. Not going to get it there. With how big these cars are already, this is such a narrow track as is. There's not going to be much room to run too wide, though Captain and Blood and Tears want to prove me wrong.
I was just going to say, back here we got Colt, Chevy, J-Ray, and D-Highs, and they're 3 wide going down this track right now.
That's insane. Talk about skill. As J-Ray is going to get the undercut on Colt through the S's. John and D-Highs right there with them. So, luckily for some guys, I'd say luckily, honestly, a lot of single filing here, because if you get into fights here, someone's going to wreck out. So you just want to wait for someone else in front of you to mess up, and just take advantage of clean that way.
Yes, that would be your best course of action, is just to kind of hang out in the back behind somebody and just wait for them to mess up, because it's going to happen.
D-Highs with the big send on John, trying to get that ninth spot. They get tangled up together a little bit, but looks like D-Highs will hold on for now. So we've got a 2-3 wide up in front of them. Going through the S's is going to be... Let's see if we can find them.
All these guys are doing such a great job being 2x2.
Behind is J-Ray, Colt, and Black Sierra. Here we go on the fight. J-Ray, Colt, and Black Sierra fighting over 6th place. Colt runs it wide just a little bit, but all of them catching the berm, and you're not going to get much of a line around the cars, especially as we talked about them being so big. It's easy to be defensive with these cars because of the size.
Yes.
J-Ray is going to get a good run on Colt, try to set too wide through the S's. Black Sierra's biding his time back here, waiting for the chance to strike on both of them.
So I'm on with D West, and he is just he's what I call pacing, like what Zuri's does. He's just kind of pacing Solpun, waiting for him to make a mistake.
Yeah, and there's the mistake right there. There's the mistake right there. Too wide into the right-hander with the guardrails. D West takes the lead from Solpun. So Solpun started off really hot, but D West been consistently running quick with the sandstorm all night. And now he's going to try to put that to advantage. He's finally got some clean air in front of him, no cars to deal with, see if he can check out from the rest of the field. As someone gets caught up on the tires, or on the marshmallows, that is Solpun. So, sad for Solpun. He was doing so well, and then just one little slip up, the marshmallows send him flying. Getting overtaken by D-West put him off a little bit.
I was going to say, it rattled him a little bit, and it threw him off his game.
Speaking of overtaking...
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Captain Napkins is going to take Black Sierra for 9th, going to the right-hander. The left-hand 90, sorry. John runs wide for Wired to work his way back up the field slowly but surely. Fastest lap is held by D West, 43.7. Just blazing quick. See if we get this fight up here with Colt and J-Ray. Colt's going to look to make a move on J-Ray, get into the top 5. That's really the only on-track battle we've got at the current moment. But we have some guys fighting for it in the back as well. Though I say that Teague runs it wide a little bit, so J-Ray and Colt might want to pounce on that. Colt still just trailing J-Ray, waiting for his time to strike.
Ty is really, really fast, but I don't think he has what it takes to catch up to Westberg on this track. It's quite a distance.
D-West is taking a commanding lead. And he has no signs of looking back, as we've got no cautions, as a reminder. No cautions for this event tonight. So... he doesn't have to worry about all of a sudden getting called back with the whole pack midway through.
Right.
Solpun still kind of struggling to get back on all 4 wheels, solid ground, as we've got D-Highs and Captain fighting each other, trying to chase down Solpun. Solpun's struggling to keep the car straight, as we've got Ty, I believe, and someone... no, not Ty. It's another green car. And there's J-Ray and Teague fighting over 4th still, as Colt's going to get his nose back in it. Another fight back here between Black Sierra and Wired. This track is
really starting to struggle.
Yeah.
Back in 7th.
Just a tough break for him. As soon as you're running well, confidence runs high. As soon as that confidence is shattered with an overtake, it could just fall apart, really. Like, the momentum you have is lost all of a sudden in one move.
Yeah, and this is a very unforgiving track, so once you start messing up, it's really tough to get caught back up again.
As we've got a little bit of single filing out here now. D West still just running away from the pack. Let's see what time he runs here. He runs a 44.0, just still blazing fast. Colt looking for a little send on J-Ray, not quite there. I see Teague has been shuffled back a little bit though, so Teague's the one trying to chase Colt down now. Captain chasing down D-Highs. Colt and Teague still getting into it back here. Teague wants his position back. He wants that top 5.
I agree, and I've said it already many times. It's just one mistake, and he'll have it back. And Colt is super, super fast and very confident in what he's doing, but he also has very, very bad wrecks all on his own. So we'll see how that goes.
It is right, as Teague is still chasing on. In front of him, we got J-Ray still trying to hold on to 4th. Here, if you can keep the car on the track, you're pretty smooth sailing.
Yes. I don't know that I've ever tried this car on this track, though. So that would be very difficult. Gotta give it to these guys for even trying it.
His top 3 is kind of separated into their own. Currently seeing D West, Ty Hard, Leitzman. But this battle for 4th could heat up with these last few laps, as someone may slip up, anything could happen, as we've seen so far. Teague with the big slide. But yeah, here we go. Colt is sizing up the move on J-Ray now. He's within striking distance, so J-Ray is now going to be under pressure. Any slip up he makes, that's just free meat for Colt. But Colt's the one who's going to catch the curves, getting a little too antsy with wanting to make that run. Almost gets flipped over, but keeps it on all 4s.
Doesn't look like Ty is gaining any ground on D West. Well, no, they're about the same as they were.
I think really the only position, barring a major catastrophe, the only position that may change now is this battle for 4th, still heating up. Colt's back on J-Ray's bumper again. It's the to and fro, the give and take between these two, really making it hard for each other to judge what they're going to do. It's Colt looking for the inside. J-Ray, I'm not sure if you want the inside line there, since coming out in the straight, that'd put you on the outside line here. Make or break corner. Braking is key there. It's Colt's bumping J-Ray now, giving him a little tap, telling him he's here. Waiting to strike still. Let's see if he could get it done on the final lap. You can tell Colt's hungry for this spot. As Leitzman's not too far ahead either, but I think he's just in about comfortable enough range. Seems like he's taking the smart decision to coast at home. Take that 3rd instead of risk flipping yourself off the track. But here's the final turn, big make or break turn at least. And it looks like J-Ray might be getting a run on Leitzman. It's really quick, we're going to head on to D West as he wins the race. Takes race 3, yeah. Ty's going to come in second, the final turn. Starting to catch up, but Leitzman hangs on, J-Ray hangs on, and Colt's going to have to settle for 5th. Still a great race from these guys, though.
Yeah, this went a whole lot better than expected on this track. I thought there was going to be a lot more crashes.
And Solpon, really well, who got the great launch off the start, gets shuffled back after getting overtaken, hits a marshmallow. I still think he had a great race, though. Sucks.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, one moment like that, especially in a race without cautions, really does suck. But, to hang on, struggled with the car a little bit, but bring her home in 8th. That 43.7 did stand as the fastest lap, though not by too far. Captain Napkins also put in a 43.7 sometime in that race.
Yeah, it's just like these lap times. Well, they've always impressed me, these guys, with their lap times, but with such a car on such a tight track, yeah, they're amazing.
Dirt Devil Stadium, race 4 of 5. No, this is race 5.
This is race 5, yes.
Wow, the fun really moves faster when the time, yeah. That's saying whichever way it goes, getting lost in this excitement.
Yeah, I will say this is the only time I drive this car is when this track comes up on the in the lobby. Is the only time I break out this sandstorm, because it can handle that big jump. That and the trophy truck are the only 2 cars that can handle that big jump, and you actually don't lose much time.
Yeah, they were pretty much made for this track, and this track was made for them. Pure trophy truck circuit here with the oval and the jumps galore, waiting for someone to flip it on the split jumps, though. Definitely going to see a few people flip and fly off the track, I think.
Yeah, especially if you hit the jump, any of those jumps wrong, your car instantly goes sideways, and if there's somebody right behind you, then you're just going to get flipped over.
As everyone's getting their tunes, probably changing suspensions after Torsdalen, getting everything together as we're about to go into race 5. Wow, it's been an exciting night. I'm losing track of time.
It's gone by really fast.
But J-Ray has been putting in an impressive performance of his own right, bringing him up, because I do want to shout out our friends over at WPL are having their championship week this week, with all of their races coming to a close as their seasons are going to come to an end. So, got a lot of friends over there as well. They're doing a great job. Wanting to shout them out with their races starting tomorrow through Sunday.
Oh, very nice. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, always love giving support to our fellow Wreckfest friends. Anything to promote us, anything to get everything working well. Love this game, love the community. So I thought, might as well. There's one of those guys where a lot of our guys, myself included, run over in that league. So, and his guys, of course, he's running here tonight, running with PRA.
Well, I can see that I still have a lot of fans, even though I'm not in the lobby racing with them. They're still trying to kick me.
Everyone loves Oscar. As we're about to kick off the final race here at the Triangle Dirt Oval. Triangle, as I like to call it. As we're off, D-High's getting the great start on the pole. And here's these jumps I was talking about.
On his side.
Yep, there's where it begins, all the flipping and carnage. That's going to be the straight, where if you get caught in the middle, here too, this one's even worse. If you get caught in the middle, you're going to flip. So, there goes airborne sandstorms. As Colt's around going into the pit, D-Highs and J-Ray fighting over second, but Soul Pun again getting the start off. Great.
Leedsman's right behind him, getting ready to take over.
D-West is looking to get this great run back into this top 5 here. D-West trying to pass Black Sierra.
Oh, and they're 2x2 going over the jump.
Oh,
that's never a good
my.
thing.
This as Leedsman and Black Sierra don't fare too well there. DOS making the move around the outside of J-Ray into the podium positions. Then taking this banking here gives them a lot more speed coming into the first turn, gives them a better line. But Solpun gets jerked off the track by a suspension. And into the wall he goes as the top two collide, D-Highs and Solpun. This is going to be one heck of a final race for the Baja Bash.
Ty hits the tires and comes to
D-Highs hits the middle as everyone's flying 10 feet in the air. As you look across the track and you see everyone flipping around and flying.
Oh, and Ty hits the fence and flips over.
Yet almost impressively right now, up at the front, we're having a bit of repeat of last race. Despite being at such a different track, D-West is tailing Solpun yet again. Solpun potentially getting some deja vu as they both go flying into the air on the big jump. Solpun with the big bounce, D-West gets the fender into him. It looks like he's going to take the lead, but J-Ray split in the middle.
Got a lot of speed.
J-Ray is split in the middle and taking the lead, but D-West might have a better run out of this first corner. 4 wide, but D-West gets the best run again. As Ty's wrecked out again. Solpun's out. Wired up in the air, majestic as J-Ray almost flips it. But sitting here yet again, D-West. He's been dominating these past few races, whether it be in the lead or with the lap times, and he's looking to take off again, though fastest lap does currently belong to Colt Chevy. J-Ray tailing down Wired. Looking to get that second spot. As with these cars going in the air, making contact mid-air is just incredible.
It is. It's a really fun track, no matter when you're doing it. But yeah, everyone taking that big jump is definitely a fan favorite.
D-West make his way around John as lap traffic may start to become a factor with these leaders. Wired gets a little tangled up and flips over! As Leedsman takes the position now. This track, especially more than anything can happen, is Tyhard's doing cartwheels down in the final corner. He's having a hard time. He's down in last. Down in the pit. But J-Ray, through all this chaos, is still trying to chase down D-West. What an amazing race we've had here. This is always fun to see these cars flying around this track.
Absolutely. You can actually get these cars over the stands if you drop down in the pit and then jump out.
Small little pit maneuver on D-Highs from Captain. John and J-Ray, big wreck mid-air. Wow.
Oh, and who was that?
John and J-Ray. Yeah, it was John.
Oh, okay.
D-Highs and Solpun got into it.
Captain Napkins is trying to pull on Ty.
Someone again is flipping. It gets creamed in the back. I think that's J-Ray again. Yeah, it's J-Ray again having a rough time. Might have jinxed him a little bit talking about everything in the pre-race. Commentator's curse is a real thing, of course, as we all know.
Yes, it is true.
Captain making the jump, Ty Hard making the jump right behind him. There's two different jumps that Ty's flipping again, and J-Ray's wrecked again. I think J-Ray lost his front right. The calamity in the final turn.
Boy, that is something you don't see.
Meanwhile, everything happened almost. Well, we did miss it. Leedsman is taking the lead from D-West. So let's take a look at this front action for a minute. So we can find D-West chasing down Leedsman. As now you've got cars in all parts of this track, going to be an obstacle for anyone and everyone.
And they're catching up to lap traffic. Oh, and he's lapping Solpun, which is very unusual.
Yeah. Solpun got a great start to the race. You see both cars going up in the air. Just looks so majestic. As Solpun flips. Definitely suspension here is key. As you said, these cars take this track better than any other car does. But that's not saying too much. J Ray's trying to limp the three-wheeler around the track.
Yeah, he's not giving up.
No give up in J Ray, that's for sure. As Leitzman is looking pretty comfortable. From race 1 to race 5, parallels starting to come out as Leitzman has got a pretty comfortable lead. But D-West will be sure to want to chase him down. As speaking of D-West, is flipping his J Ray. I think both of them got into it in the jump.
And that moves Blood up to third position, which is very good for him tonight.
Blood.
He's had a rough go of it.
D-West falls way down to 5th after that. Blood up to 3rd, getting himself a podium potentially. As we're gonna have Leitzman jumping in the air, Colt following him.
Oh, and there you already have cars going over the stands. They're pretty much giving up. There goes Solpun doing it.
Oh, yeah, there goes Solpun. Sending it to the stars. As we're going to get some aerial action brought to you by Skycam. As Wired, these spectators had no chance, let's be honest.
Right.
Leitzman goes flipping J Ray. Still limping that thing around. Impressive J Ray's not in last. Solpun going for the skies again. Colt and Leitzman are in this fight here. This is the lead fight here on the last lap. Looks like. Coming towards the last lap.
Blood really wants this. If those two get tangled up and Blood takes the win, what a win.
As J Ray might get himself in the way here a little bit with that wheel. Problematic.
You might, I was thinking
this is gonna be
taking a safe line, but
it's flying galore, flipping everywhere.
Gosh.
Colt got Leitzman, and Colt is gonna take the win.
Congratulations, Colt.
Leitzman in 2nd, D West 3rd. Blood's gonna come home with 4th.
What a race!
Talk about entertainment. I don't think Bumpskag can blame you for having popcorn everywhere this one, since we definitely needed the popcorn. So fireworks too while we're at it. Hell, these sandstorms might as well be the fireworks launching themselves up that high in the sky.
Yes.
And speaking of, here goes Wired! Airborne sandstorm into the sand! So majestic. As all the calamity of these flamed up sandstorms all DNF'd here in the final turn. What a shame, really. No, It's not a shame. It was entertaining. Talk about entertainment. What a race. And what an event we had tonight. The Baja Bash always brings out the best. As at this point, points results, who really cares about points results? We had a lot of fun here tonight. That's all that matters. The fun at the end of the day is all that matters. And it was fun having you in here with me tonight, Oscar. And thank you everyone for tuning in to the Baja Bash Volume 2. We're going to be coming back with this.
Thank you, AY, and thank you, Millsy, and thanks, Wired.
That's right. I want to give a great shout out to Wired and Millsy, the guys who put this together. This is their child right here, the Baja Bash, and we're hoping to see it again some point soon in the future again, an off-season event potentially. We'll have to see. Well, thank you everyone for such an entertaining night and tuning in to PRA. Be sure to tune back in. We're gonna have some stuff going on in the coming weeks as we're in the off-season leading up to season 14. Thank you everyone.